All right, this was a dream the Most High gave me. It was January the 13th. It was this past Sunday. January the 13th, after the Shabbat, during the day that Sunday. So this is what happened. So when I fell asleep, I drifted off to sleep, and all of a sudden, I was in this scene. I don't know where I went, but it seemed like it was this huge place. And I want to say it'll put you in the mind. It'll put you in the mind of Washington D.C. But I was going through the land, right, and it was almost had like a futuristic look to it. It didn't look like a normal just places. Almost like at a everything was just brand new. It had a futuristic look. So I was going through there, but I can tell I was asleep, but I could still think as I'm looking. So in my mind, I was going through and I was trying to be undetected, right? So I was just going through this little one place, past this one building, and I was just moving forward, but I was moving fast because I can tell I was trying not to be detected, right? And then all of a sudden, I walked into this like area, and it's almost like the scene change. Walked into this area, and I seen these guys with long brown trench coats, like almost with the little fur at the top and the funny looking hats. And they had these big kind of like planes, but it was a different type of plane. Almost looked like a big submarine was landing. And these guys, they looked very tall and powerful. These guys got out, and they were just standing so proudful with their hands behind their back and just looking almost like when somebody's about to conquer a land. So I seen that, and then all of a sudden I heard in the air, Russia. And you know how the Bible says that your heart melted? That would happen. I mean, my heart melted like I got fearful. It said Russia. And then it said Russia and Takeover. So at that time, I turned around and ran fast as I could the opposite way. So I was running. And I was asleep, but in my mind, I'm wondering, like, where am I going? But in the dream, it's like I knew where I was going. So I was running real fast. And then you know how it can show you on TV screens and stuff while you're running, like news stations going on while I'm running. And I kept looking, and it kept saying the Russia takeover, Constitution and laws are. It was basically saying this or no, that we ain't have no Constitution, no laws, none of that. That Russia was bringing in their stuff. So I was running, and for some reason, when I was running, it seemed like, for lack of a better word, we know we're Hebrews, but black people, it's like the Russians wasn't necessarily worried about them. I don't know. It's kind of hard to remember that part of the dream, but I didn't sense fear of them. So all that was happening while I was running. Then all of a sudden, it came to my mind while I was running, tunnel, like these underground tunnels. And that came to my mind first, underground tunnel. So it's almost like I'm out of the dream watching myself in the dream. So I'm out of the dream and stuff coming to my mind, but in the dream, I'm looking at myself do these things. So almost kind of like how a person is playing a video game from the outside, but he's looking in. So underground tunnel. So I dropped. It's like this area, almost kind of like how, you know, how Wakanda, the movie Black Panther, how they was in the natural world and all of a sudden, boom, they came into Wakanda. That's kind of how it happened. I was running, then all of a sudden I dropped into underground tunnels. And these tunnels now, it wasn't like rusty looking or dirty. It was immaculate. It was almost something like Mission Impossible. And I don't know if that had something to do with that part, because I did watch Mission Impossible like 3 weeks before this dream. So I dropped into this tunnel, and it was immaculate, man. I mean, beautiful. And I was running through. And I actually got to like a headquarters in this tunnel. And I was yelling. I was like, yo, they here. And then Josh was sitting like at this type of control center, like computer type control center thing. It was for lack of a better word, I'll say computer, but it was like a control center. And he was like controlling things on there. And he almost, in a sense where it's almost like he got me out to come. It's almost like I was spying, when I come to think about it. But I was undetected because of something that Josh had technology wise. And man, so he just looked at me. He was like, okay, all right, here we go. And then he started doing something, with the controls and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I popped up. I woke up. So that was just the basis of the whole dream, but it kind of shook me because I heard that thing just as loud as an audible voice that kept saying, Russia, Russia. And the men were standing with their hands behind their back like they proud to take over. And it was like they ain't come bombing. They ain't come shooting. They just took over. And it's like America was theirs. And then I woke up out the dream.